Hi guys, so today we're going to learn press to handstand on the pole. First I'll show you the movement and then we're going to break it down into the different progressions for it. So you're going to take your legs into straddle position, inside arm on the pole. So that's our full press to handstand. So the first part of this movement is getting the hand positioning correct. So I've taken my legs slightly wider than hip width apart and I'm going to place my inside shoulder against the pole. Then I'm going to circle my arm, bringing it up behind me so it's facing my body and then grab the pole. Bottom hand is going to be directly under my shoulder in this position. And you want your shoulders to be nice and even. So you don't want your inside arm a lot higher, so your shoulders are on a diagonal. You want them to be parallel to the floor. So in this position, I'm going to be pulling with my top arm and then pushing the floor away from me with my bottom arm. So first step, we're going to do a jump up to the handstand and then practice the descent. So you're going to do a bunny hop, so you're going to go onto your toes and you're going to jump hips first. So I'm going to suck in my core, bring my shoulder over my wrist, jump, and then we're going to circle our legs, squeezing our glutes, keeping our abs in, and then you're going to take your legs as wide as possible. Then I'm going to tuck the pelvis under, keeping my hips as high as possible to slow my descent to the floor. So in this movement, we're trying to stack our hips over our shoulders, over our wrists. So at the moment that you raise your legs, you want your legs to feel weightless. If they feel like they're really heavy, you need to bring your hips more in line with your shoulders before circling your legs up. So I'm going to do the jump version one more time. So, sucking in my core, bringing my shoulders in front of my wrist, and then we're going to do a little jump, hips first, and then once my hips are up, I'm going to circle those legs, keeping that tension in my core, and then circle, tuck the pelvis under, and I'm pulling and pushing as much as possible to slow my descent to the floor. So once you've mastered it going down, doing it as slowly as you can, then we can start to work on pressing up. So first part of this movement, I like to do it as a bit of conditioning exercise. So we'll do little handstand rocks. So I'm going to come into that same position. I'm going to go onto my tiptoes and I'm going to think about transferring the weight into my hands. So I'm going to suck in my core, pull and push. See if you can just lift your feet off the floor. If you're having trouble with this movement, because it does require a lot of core strength and flexibility, then you can use blocks as a learning aid to make it a little bit easier to stack your hips over your shoulders. So with the blocks, you'll put them in the same place your feet just were. Then it should be that little bit easier to tilt your hips over your shoulders to get that rock motion. So once you've mastered that rock, then we can go for the full press. So on my tiptoes, I'm going to really transfer the weight into my hands. Feel like I'm dragging my feet on the floor. Pull. Then hips over, pull and push as much as possible. And then circle the legs. And then separate, keeping your hips over. Tilt that pelvis under. To lower, back to the floor.